So let's say you're playing a worship song from the piano, and you have this great piano sound, but there's this huge instrumental intro that you want to kick into and cover from the keys position. You want to introduce a lead sound, synth bass, maybe a nice pad, all these other elements, and you want to turn on a delay effect for the piano, maybe an octave up effect to really make that piano nice and bright. And of course, you've got to bring the mod wheel up to increase the brightness of all of your pads and lead sounds over time. Over several bars though, so it's subtle. You don't want to stand out too much. And of course, you've got to do all of that while perfectly playing that rhythmic lead riff to kick in the song. Sounds like a lot, right? And there's probably no way you could actually pull that off live without completely detaching from the musical side of what you're doing and just focusing on the technical. And especially if you've got volunteers, it is a tall order to ask them to nail those 10 or 15 unique actions all at once while still feeling connected to their instrument. Well, what if you could do all of that with the touch of a single button, like this? And then seamlessly bring it down for that first verse with another touch of a single button. Seamless transitions uniquely designed to cover the moments that matter most to your worship team. It's called Snapshot Transitions, and it's a groundbreaking feature only available in the Sunday Keys app. In this video, you're gonna get to check it out. Hey folks, I'm David from SundaySounds.com, and today we're talking about Snapshot Transitions in the Sunday Keys app. As worship piano and keys players, moments of transition are often ignored, but when we get on stage, they can make or break the feel in the room and how the keys position is gluing together the sound of the band. Now, in existing softwares, it was always something you had to do manually. You had to come up with a plan for how you were going to move multiple faders, knobs, buttons, the mod wheel to cover these transitions fluidly. Or you had to spend hours drawing in automation by hand into software like Ableton Live. It's always been sort of technically possible, but very logistically challenging. And you end up feeling more like a DJ than a musician because you spend half of your set list making sure that knobs and faders are in perfect positions. This was a huge problem and one of the biggest things that we see scare volunteers away from serving in their church in the modern worship keys position. It's a problem that we think we've solved with the Snapshot Transitions feature in the Sunday Keys app. And in this video, I'm going to break down this groundbreaking new feature and show you how easy it is to program these beautiful moments of transition precisely designed to cover what you need for your worship team. So let me start by explaining how this fits into the Sunday Keys app. In Sunday Keys, you build your patches in a set list, and that's what you see at the top left corner of the screen. So typically, I like to set up one patch per song. You can see I have Great Things, He Won't, Son of Suffering, and as I tap through, there are different sounds available in these 5 color-coded modules. So we started off this video with Great Things. This is not a hypothetical scenario. This is actually a patch I had to put together myself. I was recently able to sit in with the band for Worship Innovators Conference in Chicago. It was a fantastic time, and the first song in the set list was Great Things. This song starts off with a 4-bar fade-in of this really cool synth and piano riff. And I could have just said, you know what, I'm just going to let the backing tracks fade in over those 4 bars, and then I will play once the band actually kicks in. But if you know me, you know that I love to try and pull off these moments live. I never would have been able to do it before, but with Snapshot Transitions, it only took me a couple of minutes to program everything I needed. So you have 5 snapshots per patch. And each snapshot can have a default transition, which you can define for every transition in the app, or you can define a custom snapshot transition. And when you define that custom transition, it's stored unique to that snapshot. So I took advantage of this customization to make sure that each snapshot in my song was precisely dialed in for the moment that it was designed for. The first thing I did was I created this palette of sounds. I pulled in an upright piano, this great sort of haunting bell lead, a dulcimer sound, which I layer in with the piano, and that gives me that nice, big, bright attack, this beautiful shimmer pad, and then this second sort of wide, dry saw pad. All together, I knew that I would use these different sounds to move through the moments of the song, but I don't want them always available all the time. And you can also see that I used the layer editor in the app to place these pad sounds in the middle of the keyboard and down. I've got the dulcimer from the middle of the keyboard up in my right hand, and then the bell lead takes up most of the space, and I've got the piano available all the way across. So once I had the sounds I knew I would need to use for different moments, it was time to start programming my snapshots. The first thing I did was create what I called a start snapshot. And this is just the position that I need everything to be in before the band has even started playing. And it sounds like this. It's very quiet because remember, this is going to fade in over the intro, 4 full bars. So it's very quiet. There's not a lot going on. It's just piano, and then a little bit of dulcimer here is going to fade in. This is where I'm starting, but as soon as the band kicks in, I wanted to start slowly fading in all of these other elements so that by the time the drums kicked in after 4 bars, I was at the biggest possible place that I could be. So what I did was I built out this second snapshot called All In. And I designed it so that it would bring in the volume of all of these faders. It would turn on my octave up MIDI effect. It would turn on my delay effect here on the piano. And I also programmed chord triggers to the easy chord effect inside of both pads, because I knew my right hand would be playing this very complex riff, but I didn't want to give up full pad voicings. So inside of easy chord, I'm able to just program a single bass note press to output really full chord voicings. That means these pads are filling space, but they're not trying to follow along with that busy synth riff in the right hand. So once I'd programmed where I wanted this second snapshot to end up, I was able to customize the transition so that it got there over the right amount of time. So I made sure that this patch was set to 102 BPM. That's the tempo of Great Things. Then I long press on this snapshot and choose Customize. Now, out of the box, whenever you long press on a snapshot for the first time, you'll see the default snapshot settings apply. And this is great because you can update those one time and it will automatically be deployed to every snapshot that uses those default settings. So it's very fast to update your typical snapshot transition. But I needed a custom one for this. So I turned on Use Custom Settings, and then you have very specific control over the nature of that transition. So you could have the transition type set to time, and you can measure it in seconds. Say, I don't need to be super precise, but I want it to be kind of slow. So I want this transition to be 5 seconds long. But for me, I knew I wanted it to be 4 bars long, very specifically. So I chose the beat transition type, and then I set the transition length to 4 bars. And you could get as specific as you want. I could have it happen instantly, over 1 beat, and then all the way up to 4 bars. Then I also set the audio effects transition behavior to fade. This is really cool because rather than that delay effect just immediately turning on in a really dramatic fashion, the app actually crossfades the audio without delay and then brings that delay in over 4 bars. So it's this very gradual introduction of the delay effect. And then lastly, I wanted to make sure that the filter does open up over the length of this transition. So I have the snapshot set to adjust the mod wheel. So with those customizations in place for snapshot transitions, I start on my first snapshot, and then the band kicks in, 1, 2, 3, 4. I hit that snapshot, and then I can just start playing. And all of that programming pays off. So you can see that all of my volume faders moved up, my delay, chorus, and octave up effects turned on for the piano, and the mod wheel here that controls the filter brightness of the synths went from here up to here, all over 4 bars. This has never been possible in any software or hardware for keys players before. It's not automation because you stay in total control, but it does allow you to execute these incredibly intricate moments pre-programmed with a single button press. And you're not sacrificing flexibility either. If you're midway through a transition and you realize that it's happening too slowly, you can grab a fader and pull it up and take over that snapshot transition for that one sound. You can even select the wrong snapshot by accident and then select the right one, and automatically the app does the math to smooth that transition over and get you to where you intend it to be. So this is my all-in snapshot. It's where I'm doing these big instrumental moments, and then I'm fading down. over about 2 bars for the verse. And then I'm using this for the bridge as well. Then by the time we get to the end of the verse, He has done great things. Great things. And then I'm hitting my chorus, and it's taken me there by about 1 bar in length. And then we're at the chorus. Beautiful changes. They're absolutely seamless. I'm able to focus primarily on my piano playing, nailing those parts. As long as I can read and remember what I've programmed in advance, then it's going to be flawless. I could even change the tempo, so if the band gets off of the click, I can just tap tempo in here, and all of my beat-based transitions will automatically adopt the new tempo. And we could also change this up. Let's say that the worship leader decides we want to start with the verse. I can just long press on that snapshot, choose rearrange, and then I can pull this one into the first position. And now I can start here instead of my big all-in moment. You can also update snapshots really easily on the fly. So let's say this all-in snapshot is a little bit too intense. All I need to do to update a snapshot is dial in the new settings I'd like. Maybe I want a little less dulcimer, a little less of this lead sound. Then just hit the save icon. And now the next time I choose this snapshot, it will smoothly transition to these settings instead of the previous ones. Snapshot transitions and snapshots in general are probably my favorite feature in the Sunday Keys app. And it's not an exaggeration to say that this is just not possible anywhere else. If you're a worship piano player or worship leader trying to empower your keys players, we hope that you'll check out the Sunday Keys app. There's a link in the description where you can download it from the App Store and try it out in demo mode for free. And then when you're ready, you can purchase a Sunday Keys license from sundaysounds.com and access the full sound library and all of the incredible features in the Sunday Keys app. If you have questions about how snapshot transitions work, we would love to hear from you. This feature is available in the app right now. Leave a comment and let us know how we can help. Oh, and one other thing for Sunday Keys app users. There's a link in the description to a shared setlist that includes this patch for Great Things that I just demonstrated. So maybe you're playing that song this Sunday, or you just want to download this patch and check it out for yourself and see how it was programmed. So Sunday Keys app users, get out your Sunday Keys device, click the link in the description to the shared setlist. The app will open and you can save it to your device and check out this patch for yourself. I hope you have fun with it. I sure had fun creating it and especially nailing it live.